unpacking this really passionate, translated community appeal that's basically trying to save it.
Yeah, and the source details these two architectural anomalies that make this whole appeal so urgent.
Hmm.
Um, First, like you said, it's a monolithic structure, so it was carved entirely from one single stone. And second, it features this highly unusual west-facing orientation.
Wait, I want to stop on that single stone detail for a second, because treating architecture like it's a giant marble sculpture seems incredibly risky.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, usually you build a structure by safely stacking bricks. If a brick cracks, you just swap it out.
Right, you replace it.
But hollowing out a giant rock to create a functional, inhabitable space, that's wild.
It is. It's significantly more complex than, say, a standard sculpture. A solid statue really just has to support its own weight.
Right.
But a hollowed-out, monolithic temple, it has to maintain absolute structural integrity while also creating negative space for people to actually gather inside.
Wow, yeah.
And then there's that west-facing orientation. Most Hindu temples face east to catch the first rays of the rising sun, which symbolizes renewal.
Makes sense.
But a west-facing temple often signifies a more fierce or protective aspect of the deity. It changes the entire energetic and cultural footprint of the site.
Which makes the current situation outlined in this translation so puzzling to me. The text categorizes this permanent stone marvel as being in a quote-unquote dilapidated state.
Yeah, it's struggling.
But how does a single solid piece of rock actually crumble? I mean, it's not like mortar is washing away in the rain.
Well, it degrades precisely because it lacks mortar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So brick buildings have joints that allow for slight shifting and thermal expansion. A monolithic stone structure absorbs the full brunt of seismic vibrations, extreme temperature fluctuations, water pooling, all without any give.
Oh, so it's entirely rigid.
Exactly. And once a microscopic fissure forms from relentless weathering, water gets in, expands, and basically starts shearing the rock from the inside out.
Okay, so the structural integrity is actively failing. But the appeal makes it super clear this isn't some abandoned museum exhibit.
No, not at all.
They are still holding pujas, like daily rituals, twice a day. The community is actively using this crumbling space.
They have to. The community operates on a proverb that's central to this translated text. And it goes, if a temple prospers, the land prospers.
Okay, but I mean, that sounds like a standard motivational platitude, right? Just to get people to donate. Is there an actual mechanical link between the physical building and the surrounding region's prosperity?
Well, in this cultural context, it's literal socioeconomic infrastructure. Yeah. Historically, these temples functioned as the bedrock of the local economy. They employed artisans, priests, agricultural workers.
Wow.
Yeah, they acted as banks, grain reserves, and community centers. So the physical health of the temple directly mirrored the economic health of the village.
Oh, I see.
So the source argues that restoring the site isn't just about preserving a historical oddity. It's about reviving the economic and social heartbeat of Thekkankuttur.
That explains the urgency of their request, honestly, because the core focus of this source is an open invite for participants, donators, anyone really, to step in.
Yes, definitely.
They need funds to rebuild the temple, restore those surrounding amenities, and halt the degradation of this monolithic site before the damage is totally irreversible.
Right. The appeal relies on collective action.
Yeah.
They're basically asking you to recognize that heritage doesn't survive in a vacuum.
Yeah.
I mean, a structure can be carved from solid rock, but it still requires capital and active human intervention to withstand the elements over centuries.
It completely upends how we view historical landmarks.
It really does.
We tend to look at giant stone monuments and assume they are just permanent fixtures of the landscape. But if an entire building carved from a single piece of solid rock is quietly relying on immediate community fundraising just to survive the decade?
Yeah, that puts it in perspective.
Right. How many other supposedly permanent pieces of our own local cultural history are currently just one bad storm away from disappearing entirely?